Hi, Ethan. You all right, mate?
It's all right.
Yeah, good. Thank you, pal. Thanks for your time. And let's start by looking back at the Warrington game then. Just firstly, what are your reflections on that one?
Um, it were a tough encounter. I knew that it was going to be a tough game. We knew that. You look where we're both sat in the league table, and it had everything pre-match to be a belter of a game. And to be honest, I think it was. I feel like we killed ourselves a little bit in areas. Let them. So everything. I feel like everything that they had success with was down to what we gave them, which were a shame. It were our mistakes and our overplaying sometimes that gave them the ball in key areas, and then just penalties and stuff, just silly penalties that let them get back into the game when we really should have. After 12-0 and we almost score again, we should have sort of put it to bed. So we've got work ons, and we've done that this week, and hopefully we can kick on now for this Challenge Cup game on Friday.
So in theory, then it sounds like it's stuff that can be easily fixed, easily rectified. So how encouraging is that at the same time?
Yeah, definitely. We know we've pinpointed it. We've looked at his video and stuff, and we know where it was or where we've gone wrong, and we're going to look to fix that this week. And that's all we can do really. We've got to not feel sorry for ourselves. Like just know that it were a game that just got away, and we'll know for next time where we could be better.
How important is it for the group as well that you stay competitive right to the very end in that one?
Yeah, definitely. I think even when we were 8 points, I think it were 8 points difference, and there were only a couple of minutes left. We still try to compete to get the ball back, and you should never stop fighting to win a game. When a lot of people might think it'd be lost, so you never know what can happen. So I think it would just, and that's been installed from us from an early point through the beginning of this year, always to be competitive and to behave in a certain way when we're on the field. So that's installed into us.
How encouraging is it that you went toe to toe with a side like Warrington with regards to what the club wants to achieve this season?
Yeah. Well, they're a team that have obviously come through a rebuild. They signed some pretty big names, and they've got themselves a squad together, and they're competing at the top of the table. But as are we, we're in and around there as well. So there's no reason why we couldn't be competing with them. Do you know what I mean? We're playing some really good rugby, and I think what's really pleasing to see is people who we've got a couple of injuries at the minute, but people who are coming in. So I went to fullback. We've got the spine's just a bit mixed up at the minute, but everyone's knowing the roles and knowing what to do in certain situations. And I think that's really pleasing to see. We've got a lot of depth in the squad.
Yeah, as you mentioned that you started at fullback, got yourself a try as well. How did you find it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I've been out of the team quite a while now, and ever since I left the team, I've been wanting to get back in it. And my opportunities come, and it were at fullback. So I just wanted to take that with both hands, and obviously do my best for what I could for the team in that big game. And it were a shame we didn't get the win and stuff like that. But I think we put together a performance that we can really be proud of. And like I say, it were just our errors that I think cost us ultimately.
Not a bad pass from James Batchelor for your try, though. Nice no-look ball there.
Yeah, I was screaming at him. You can't quite see that on video. I was screaming for it, and I think he just had a little bit of trust in me, and he flicked it in, and it were a great bit of skill by Batch, to be fair, and yeah, fair play to him for trusting me to be there.
Yeah, and you finished it nicely as well. And with Lachlan Coote out injured as well, how big a period is this for you now, do you think, in terms of getting a bit more regular game time, even if it's at fullback?
Yeah, it obviously Coote is a massive part of our team and a huge voice within our dressing room when it comes to games and training and stuff. So it's good to get a chance there. It's big shoes to fill, but I think all I'm going to do is, and what I do every time I pull on the Hull KR shirt, is give 110% effort. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Some things might not be perfect, and that's just because, well, no excuses. But obviously, I haven't played in a while, or might not be my main position or whatever. But I really enjoy playing there, and I'll try to do a job wherever I'm put on the field.
Yeah, what does it you enjoy about playing at fullback then?
Um, I think I just get a little bit more time on the ball, you know, with like kick returns, sort of you get a lot more contact time with the ball as well. I feel like you have it in your hands a lot more, which I really like because I feel like I can add stuff to his attacking line, and I feel like I'm decent in like a good amount of space, which is a strength of mine, which I feel like I've got. So I think you get a little bit more everything when you're at fullback in terms of an attacking thing. You get your hands on it a lot more. You get more space. So I think it just suits me.
Yeah, because suppose when you take that high kick, you're the first lead, you're the first charge, really, in terms of starting something off. Do you enjoy that kind of role?
Yeah, exactly. You can pick little holes in the line if you can see them. You can link up with players, and just like I don't know, being up and down all over the field, knowing you can get the ball. Whereas sometimes when I play on the wing, obviously you do your backline carries and you try to get your yardage carries up, but you don't often see the ball in good ball unless it gets shipped out to you, and often that's just a chance to score in the corner usually. So yeah, you just get a lot more contact time with it, and it is good.
A bit more freedom, I suppose, in that sense.
100%, 100%. You've got, and that is a fullback in itself is a freedom role. I think you've got, unless you're playing to a set structure, and which we've got elements of, but there's a lot of you can float around and sort of pick areas you want to attack and stuff. So it's good.
Saying that, Batley, I know I've got some big units in their side. How do you feel about taking that first carry into the line?
Yeah, it's just like any other, innit? I mean, you look at Warrington's pack last week. It is what it is. And everyone's got big guys, so it's about finding the weaknesses within them.
In your time at Bradford, I'm sure you would have come up against Batley, and they always seem to be quite a strong championship side, don't they? What's your take on them?
Yeah, I played them quite a few times, to be fair, when I was at Bradford. It were, like you say, they're a good championship team at Batley, and they're not to be taken lightly because they've got a lot of. You look in the team, they've got a lot of good players who have got good ability. So, and I think they're a well coached team too, to be honest. So we know that we can't take them lightly. They're going to be up for this, obviously, given where a league above, it's Super League. Against a championship team, you always know what you're going to get in these sort of games. So yeah, it's just about not going away from what we know we're good at. And if we do that on Friday, I think we can get the win.
Yeah, because when you're up against a part-time team, how important is it not to take your eye off the ball, despite that, in the build-up to the game itself, and then obviously for the match itself too?
Yeah, we were discussing it today at training and stuff, and it's easy to think that you'll have opportunity to play a lot more, but you shouldn't overplay in them situations. You can almost hurt yourself by doing too much in these sort of games. So I think we just like I said, we just need to stick to what we're good at and what we've been doing over these past 10 rounds in Super League. So and if we can replicate as performances that we've put in, we'll have a good night.
How important do you think a cup run is for Hull KR this season?
Well, it's as important as any season to me. But for me personally, the cup's really special. I played a couple of good games in the Challenge Cup in the past with Bradford, and I feel like we got to the semi-final last year. We just missed out on getting to the final, so that hurt a lot. So I feel like we've got a bit of unfinished business this year. We've got a real good opportunity, I think, to do something special this year in the Challenge Cup, and it's one that I'm really looking forward to being a part of.
Also, just we know now that you're moving on from the club at the end of the season, at the end of your contract. How do you feel about that now?
Yeah, it's gutting really. I'm hopefully going to move on to something new and positive and stuff, but it's just one of those where you just got to sort of deal with it. The club have decided what they've decided for whatever reasons, and I'll look towards after. Obviously, I've got business to finish this year, and hopefully I can give what I can give this year. But it's just the direction that they've decided to go in, and that's up to them.
How important is it that sooner rather than later and in good time about your future in that sense?
Yeah, and that's one thing that I'm pleased that did happen. They told me early, because there's a lot of people who can not know for a while and not know really where they stand, for various different reasons. But I got told early, which has allowed me to sort of, obviously, come May the 1st, you can speak to other clubs, so it's allowed me to sort of dive into that at an early point, as opposed to waiting around for something that might not be there in the end. So no, it's good to know early, because you can try to get your future sorted ASAP.
Yeah, there are reports that you're heading to Salford. Is there anything you can tell us at this stage about what your future might hold?
No, not yet. Nothing's sort of done and set in stone just yet. There's a couple of things that need to be tied up along the way. So, but hopefully in the not too distant future, I'm sorted, and it's one, like, obviously less stress off my mind.
No, absolutely. But as you say, you still got a lot of the season to go. So how would you like to see out your time at Hull KR?
Well, play as much as possible, give as much as I can, and let's compete for what we know we can achieve. And like I've just discussed, obviously the Challenge Cup's a massive one, and we know that there's no reason why we can't get to the grand final and win it this year.
And just I want to get your take as well about the World Cup, the announcement this week that it's no longer going to be in France in 2025. I know you sadly missed out on the last World Cup because of injury, but I know, speaking to you in the past, how important it is for you to play for Ireland and play at an international level. What were your thoughts when you heard that news yesterday?
Yeah, strange one, really. I don't really know too much about it in terms of why it's all happened, or I just seen sort of what's gone out in the press, in terms of that it's been cancelled. So it's gutting, really, because after such a good World Cup that were based over here and how well ran it was, it's just a shame that that's happened after such a positive one. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully it can get replanned and for a different. I mean, I'm not sure. I think I've seen something about maybe New Zealand coming in, and I've seen a statement. I'm not sure if it's legit or not, but hopefully something can get planned, and the World Cup still goes ahead no matter where it is.
Yeah, how important is international rugby league, do you feel?
It needs to be the height of the game for me. It everyone. I mean, it's a showcase for all the best players in the world, and I think it comes with a lot of passion as well. You should want to play for your country, and people should want to support the country. So I think it needs to be boosted a lot more, to be honest. There's been a good sort of. I know that for Ireland we tried getting sort of a mid-season camp together. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it. There were one or two reasons why we couldn't, but we wanted to do that. I wanted to get together a lot more. We're putting a bigger emphasis on. We really want to take it serious and become that sort of a nation that is looked at as a really good team. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to what some people might have seen Ireland Rugby League as in the past. So, but I think the mid-season internationals are really good. I think there just needs to be more of them. I think it's a really good idea, and yeah, I'm a big one for international rugby league.
Brilliant stuff, Ethan. Thank you so much for that, mate. Appreciate it.
Mate.
Hello, I've got a question, Viking FM.
Hello.
How important are the fans when it comes to the Challenge Cup? I know, like, it's just a massive family, isn't it? What type of impact do they have on the team? Sorry, not Challenge Cup.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, in any setting, the fans are one of the things that keep the team going through tough times, on the field and stuff. It's whenever we come out at Craven Park, it's ace. It's one of the best fan bases around, if not the best. I think of the KR fans that you see across the comp. They're so loud, and whenever you're at home, even away, like you see how many sector away games now. It's just they're a credit to the club and to the team. I think it's they're huge for us.
Yeah, it must really boost camaraderie in the dressing room.
Yeah, definitely. Like you know that you're going to go out to a Raw, and even like like for the derbies and stuff like that. It's absolutely massive. That like the game. I think it was the game last year. We played FC here at Craven Park, and the atmosphere that they created were just absolutely unbelievable. Like, I've never been a part of a game like it. So like I say, they're up there with the best.
Yes, thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much. If anyone's got any last questions, or are we all
Can I just sneak one in, if that's all right, please?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, Tom.
All right. I'm just wondering how you're. I mean, because obviously Lachlan's out for a while. Do you find this sort of spell at fullback, like, one, how you enjoy it, and also do you think it gives you a better options and opportunities on the market, because clubs can obviously see your versatility at the back?
Yeah, I do, because I think clubs like a player who can play in multiple positions. If clubs go for players that can only play in one position, it sort of limits how they can shift the squad around. Because I mean, you might get lucky, but at different points in the year, some teams are going to go through some injuries. I mean, you look at what we're going through now at the minute, with Jordan obviously out, and you got Cootie out. Rowan's just broke his hand, so you never know what you're going to get hit with. So having players that can play in different positions and key positions, it really does help. So yeah, I think it does add a bit when teams will be looking. So I mean, it'll be good to get some sort of game time there. And like I said earlier, I really do enjoy it. It's a position where I played a lot as a kid, a little bit coming through the Bradford ranks. I played a little bit there, and then a little bit in the first team at Bradford. But I got a run last year at fullback, and then I'm looking at a little run now. So like I say, every time I do it, I do enjoy it.
Also, how grateful are you that you're not playing on that Batley pitch as well? I'm guessing you've had a few games there before.
I have had a few games there. Yeah, it's one of those. There's multiple places where you can go where there's pitches that are known for various different things, whether it be a hill or being boggy or whatever. But even if it was there, mate, you've got to try and like things like that slide. If you go in there already dreading a pitch because it's got a bit of a hill on it, I think you're partly beaten already. So even if it were there, mate, it wouldn't have been sort of. I'd have just got on with whatever I need to get on with. I won't focus on that.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, good luck for Friday anyway, mate. Go well.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.